have you ever really wanted to integrate do a master key integration? Just stick that little rough cut or persuader into the bottom of your retaliator barrel attachment. Just want to stick it there and you have this epic thing. Well, you look like you want it. So let me show you how to build it. So there it is. That's what we're going to be building. I'm glad you like it there. Weird ninjabiomech dude who's not talking right now for some reason. Well, yeah, so I'm going to show you guys how to make this. Materials, stuffs, next.
Okay, so to make this, you'll need some bolts. I'll show you what these bolts need to fit in a second. You need something to help with the bolts to make them tight, a little bit tighter. I'm just using one of these things. It's not really used for that, but it'll just suit my purposes. Then you need the two things you're going to attach together. In my case, get the persuader and this, and they must have both tack rails. So now to the more complicated stuff. We're going to be making these two things. So these are going to attach onto the tack rails like so, like that, and then they're going to be two of them on either side and then bolted. So to make these, we need some of this stuff, some metal strip kind of thing. Probably can find this at Home Depot. I have no idea where this is from. So then you need a hammer, a saw that's designed to cut metal and stuff like that, and you also need this thing. You also need one of these. Yeah. One of these. Hopefully yours actually will have the right width of this, because that's kind of important to this build. At least, like, I hope yours is no bigger than this, because if it's bigger, that's bad. So, yeah. Now I'll start showing you guys how to do it. So first thing you gotta do is get some of this. You gotta have 4 holes. 1, 2, oh, I can't see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to cut it right there. Okay, one-handed. Okay, I'll just show you where you need to cut it. You'll need to cut it right there. You see where the, oh, okay, wait. You gotta kind of jam it in there. You gotta put it there, and then you gotta kind of straighten it out first. So I'm straightening it out. Make sure it's nice and straight before I do this. It's pretty important. So now that it's kind of straight, we only need it up to here, okay? And you can kind of cut off. Okay, you can kind of cut off that little bit on the end. That we don't need that. You only need it to 4, to the four full. Okay, so you do that. Okay, and then you kind of gotta make it. You gotta kind of jam this in, and so make sure the top of this, with the distance like that distance, from the bottom of this to the top of this, is equal to equal at the bottom. So you got to do that, and then you just tighten it all the way as much as you can, because we're going to be hammering. So you need to tighten it all the way. So now we go and grab our saw. So this thing, yep, going first-person shooter style. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you need to cut it. You need to cut it like right. Now I'm not even sure where to cut it. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure where the holes are now. Yeah, I'm really professional, as you can tell. I'm the most professional Nerf YouTuber in the world. Actually, I'm not really a Nerf YouTuber. This is like my second video of Nerf. But anyway, I just gotta make sure it's at 4 before I do this. So it needs to be like right there. It needs to be right there. So I'm gonna put the camera down. No, actually I'm not. I'm gonna make it follow. I'm gonna tightening. I'm gonna make it follow. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now I can use my other hand. Okay, now let's pretend these are equal heights, top and bottom, equal distances jutting out, top and bottom, which they aren't. You got to make sure that is. And so then, since I don't need to make another one, I'm not actually going to cut it. But you need to cut it all the way down. You need to cut right here, and just cut all the way down. So you cut this part off. You don't need that anymore. So once you've done that, I'm going to give you an example with these. So I got my thingamajiggers here, right? I got these. So now you'll understand why it's so important to have equal on top and bottom. Now I have to do this again. Great. Okay. Oh. Why? Oh, now my thing is jangling in the way. Okay. So, first-person shooter style again. Okay. Let's open this all the way up, just so I can show you. Actually, I have a fragment. I just realized. I have a fragment. I can actually show you how to do this. But I'll explain why that it needs to be equal. So you kind of want the equal distance, so you can kind of wrap it around. So you can do it on one side. You can hammer the top side, and then you can hammer the bottom side down like that. So you have the top and bottom are equal, so it's kind of straighter and nicer. So kind of like that. So I'm going to kind of show you how to do this with this really short bit. So I'm going to use my chin to hold it. Hopefully this works. Okay. This is not going to work. No. This is a really bad idea. Really ill-advised. But I'm going to kind of tighten this. I'm going to tighten this, okay? And then I'll be back in a second. So, there we go. I got the thingamajigger in there. Now, I gotta go back over here, grab my hammer, and I'm gonna whack it a bunch of times. So basically what you gotta do kind of is, okay? So you kind of gotta get it so that it's kind of flat on the top, like this. You gotta hammer it. You see how it's kind of bent? You gotta kind of hammer it on an angle to get that first angle on it. Basically trying to do this. You're trying to get it so that it's at a right angle, more or less, to it. So so then, after let's pretend that's at 90 degrees now, because it usually takes a while. So now, after you've done that 90 degrees, now you take this out, you flip it over, and you stick it back in right at the end, and you put it all the way up against the angle. So, okay, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Having to do this with only 2 hands. Like, I need 3 hands for this. How do vloggers do this? How do vloggers do this? How do they, seriously, do they put down the camera or something? Okay, so then you gotta hammer this side too. Smackety smack it. Smack, 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 smack. Oh, that was not even in frame. Come on, I'm so bad at this. So bad at this YouTube stuff. Okay, now that this is magically transformed into this, and now we can use it to make stuff, which is awesome. So now we have our 2 things. And you have to actually do that process twice, because you need both of them. Yeah. So, now I'm going to put it together now, okay? Okay, so here we are on the garbage bin, and so now I need to assemble all these random stuff that I made you go get to do this. Now they all need to be assembled. So the first thing you got to do is kind of line these up right next to each other, like that. And then you got to grab a bolt, stick that right in there. Okay. You got to kind of screw it on a tiny bit. You don't need to do very much. You just need a tiny bit of screw that on a tiny bit. And you grab the other one. Do the same to that one. Just screw it on a tiny bit. And then you kind of got to stick whatever you want to be using in it, like that. So now you kind of got the idea here. So I'm going to try to tighten it. Okay, we've got the we're going to kind of tighten the screws a tiny bit so they kind of hold. They hold a little bit. You need them to hold. Okay, so you kind of want this, try to make it so that they're both straight upwards, because that can sometimes happen, like, can kind of get crooked. So make sure they're both kind of straight. And it's kind of important if you want something that actually looks good as well as is functional. You kind of want it to be functional as well. So now that I have them kind of tightened up a little bit, I'm going to grab this and tighten it a reasonable amount just to make sure it stays and doesn't wiggle. So I'm just going to use this thing I have here down in my dad's toolbox. Just go like that. There you go, you have your persuader barrel attachment or whatever. You can do this to any tactical rail. I actually did it to my Alpha Trooper first. I basically stuck a strong arm on top of an Alpha Trooper. It's really cool. Yeah, so I'm going to go get my rest of my blasters and show you guys how this looks. So here I am with the rest of my retaliator. So all I have to do is just stick this kind of in here, like that. And I got this monstrosity. You like my clip too? I got that 18/25 life right there. Best magazine combination ever. Just best. All around best. You should try it. You should really try it. Just take some some packaging tape. But as you can see, it is awesome. It's like a master key integration. That's really easy to do. You don't have any epoxy putty or anything. Just so simple. So simple. Yet so awesome. It feels so good. And it's removable. So I'm going to show you one more example of how this can be useful. So I got my Alpha Trooper over here. This thing. Oh, I gotta grab my clip too. Best clip combination. Best Nerf blaster, except for the fact that it doesn't have a. It needs a the Alpha Trooper needs a tactical barrel attachment. But look at this. It's just so big I can't even get into the frame. It's just like you can go like that. And